Mr. Minnick here. We are doing some exercises off of VB, Identifying Errors Worksheet number 1. There are 3 kinds of errors that we studied already in this school year called compile errors, runtime errors, and logic errors. Some of these exercises may have no error at all, so N is also a valid letter that you might have to write here in the area provided. Also, let me point out that a compile error is roughly also called, in some people's opinion, a syntax error, S-Y-N-T-A-X. In case I say that by accident, I really meant a compile error. Okay, let's move on. Number 1, raise your hand here in my period 11 class if you know what kind of, what answer for number 1 you should have. Christopher? No issue. Okay, there actually is an issue, so the answer is not N. Anyone else? Yes, John?
Logic.
Well, it's not, in my opinion, a logic, but what's the error that you see? Yeah, 3 S's. The fact that there are 3 S's there, I consider that a compile error. Here's why. Compile errors are often misspelled keywords, commands or keywords that are built into the Visual Basic language. In fact, the software that we'll eventually be using will squiggly underline that and alert you to the fact that you misspelled message box, and therefore it will be considered a compile error, and the program will not even run. You won't even be able to hit the start button. It will just stop you cold. So even though it's kind of like bad logic that caused you to type the wrong spelling, it's really a compile error to the software. Anyone? Answer number 2? Okay, Quinn, I see you thinking. What do you got? What ideas do you have for number 2? Okay, explain the error to me before I agree with you. Okay, that's correct as far as the error goes. It needs a .show squeezed in here. But in my opinion, and so therefore to get it right on this worksheet, I'm not calling that one a logic error either. No, it's not a runtime error either. John? Yeah. Well, that's the only one that's left. So yeah, good job there too. So here's the next rule. It's not just misspelled keywords that are built into the Visual Basic language. It's also missing words that the programmer coder did not type where he should have. I say he because it's probably a guy that was like going too fast and did not plan out his pseudocode, and then when he hurriedly typed it in, he didn't notice that he needed .show there. So that is also a compile error, and I think the software would squiggly underline all of this, and you would just have to know to find somewhere in your notes or a previous demo program the memory or knowledge that you need a .show anytime you have message box. Like peanut butter and jelly, message box .show go together. You generally will not have the one without the other in the current version of Visual Basic that we are now using. Number 3. Courtney. Logic. Correct. Yes. Now, why didn't you say compile error? Because really, you saw these 2 R's and there were 3 S's here. Explain.
Because it's inside the quotation.
Awesome.
They don't really know what you're trying to say, but that's what you're trying to say.
Who's they? Who's they that doesn't really know what you, the coder, is trying to say? Yeah, the computer. The little men inside the computer. Yeah, they. Okay, I know what she meant. I just wanted it clarified. There aren't little people in the computer. The computer's dumb. It's not even as smart as a 1-year-old. A computer doesn't know what the heck you're doing inside of double quotes. It doesn't really care. It could be hello Jupiter for all it cares. It could be a bad word there. It's not going to give you detention. Well, I'm just saying. I will, but it won't give you detention. So any misspelling that you put in here, I would say is just like a spelling class error. Your English teacher would care, but we don't really, the compiler software doesn't care. So it's not a compile error, and it's not a runtime error. It does not crash the program. It's just, the program runs, but in your little message box that pops up, it will just be misspelled and you'll look bad. So the only thing really that fits here in my directions is to call this a logic error. Well done. The last class period, they got that wrong. Like 2 or 3 people got it wrong before I finally got a right answer. Number 4. Okay, Tyler?
There's no error.
Correct. N. Let's follow, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, PEMDAS, order of operations. Let's do that for number 4. Follow with me, folks. 12 divided by 6, because it's in the parentheses, you do that first. So that simplifies to a 2. So this acts just as if we had typed messagebox.show parentheses 2. Well, some people in the other class, that period 10 class, they thought that we needed double quotes here, just like we need double quotes around hello world. Well, no, sorry. Numbers can go either way. They either can have double quotes in this situation or not. Hey, what's your zip code, Bryce?
19611.
See, he just said this. He said 19611. Hey, what's your high score in Warcraft or whatever that game is? Somebody make up a number. Somebody, Bryce, just make up a number.
Make up
Quickly, we're on video.
3. 1 second.
No, like in the thousands.
3,000.
Okay, why'd you say 3,000 and not 3000? Because it's a number, right? Well, why did you say 19610 when I asked you for your zip code? Why didn't you say 19,610? Good question. Never really thought about it, did you? Well, I guess you grew up learning that zip codes, you should just pronounce them 19610. Well, in that case, you are saying the digits one by one as if they have double quotes around them. But when you pronounce a number as 19,610, what you're saying is that the number doesn't have quotes around it. It's just a plain number and not text, not what we call a string. There's a subtle difference there. So back to our worksheet and our video. That is correct. This is a correct way of doing it. Just the number 2 there simplifies, so there is no error at all. This did work. Number 5, volunteer answer in the room. Yeah, Leah. No, there is no error. This actually was right off of an earlier worksheet that we did. This was like a line of code that you were supposed to write on the previous worksheet. So I just kind of made it look weird, but there's really no error there.
Mr. Minnick, do you have any glue?
Okay, we are live again. Sorry about that glue interruption. Number 6. Does anybody see an error in number 6? Yeah, John, I see an answer forming in your head.
I think it's
Yes. Yep. What looks weird about this, number 6?
There's no parentheses around hello world.
Well, and when you have message box, you always have parentheses in every other question. So you're right. Well, that's one thing. Normally, when you have a message box, you have parentheses. What else, Chris? What else, the jelly?
It says not text, it should be show.
Yes, perfect. Like peanut butter and jelly. Message box always goes with show and never with text. It's just the way it is. And you're learning a lot of stuff early in this course. It's coming at you, this new language. It's like Greek. But if you can hang, you guys will be able to do really powerful stuff. And with these new laptops that we got, any program that you make using Visual Basic can execute and work on your laptop. So you can actually make your own software with these school laptops this year. Hey, number 7. What's missing there? I'll just give it away. Something's missing, John.
.text.
Yep, dot text. And what kind of error would you classify that as?
Compile.
Compile. I'll just tell you now, the only runtime error on this whole worksheet is number 13. Let's just fast forward to that one right now and put a big R there. The reason 13 is a runtime error is this. Look at the code. Is there any misspelling or anything missing, like dot show or dot text or parentheses? No. Can you divide inside of show? Yes, you can. So is there anything wrong with this as far as the code goes? No, there isn't. But read the comment that I put there. Assume that the knucklehead user inputs the number 0 and that 0 is stored in the variable x. So on your calculators that you guys use in math class, when you do 4 divided by 0, what happens? Yeah, they say syntax error on some kinds of calculators, but really it should be runtime error, in my opinion. Anyway, it is an error, and that crashes the calculator. So this answer here would crash, this code would crash the program, and therefore it's a runtime error. It doesn't squiggly underline, because the computer doesn't know that somebody's going to come along and enter a 0, and that you're going to try to illegally divide by 0. It's something that Quinn, the computer, can't see into the future and know what numbers somebody playing an online game or something will be typing in, even though it would make sense. If somebody asks you what's your age, you would not say 0. But some people do that stuff. They put bad numbers or negative numbers in where they really should only be a positive. It often crashes software. And sometimes we are our own worst enemies when we run programs. That is the customer or the user. Okay, I'm not going to do everything here for you. Numbers 8 through 12, try to answer those yourself on this worksheet if it's assigned for homework. I'm going to look at number 14 real quickly. Oh, number 14. If somebody tried to answer that question, set the text of LBL step 1 equal to the text of LBL step 2, it looks like there's something missing in his answer. So fill in the gaps there and make that right. And number 15, there must be a problem. Somebody must have slightly mistyped their answer there, and the same for 16. Try to fix those with your pen or pencil or stylus, and have a good day.